let's just mix my track. I've already started with just processing the snare. Like this is just Burr Oak snare number 23. I think even took out of a loop. So shame on me. I'm just using Burr Oak sample. And yeah, let me show you. They are so fat. Actually, you won't be able to manipulate them so much or make them. You're not able to make them fatter as they already are. So maybe I just made it worse. But let's listen. And with my effects, just all the high end came out, I think. So I can show you what I've done here. So okay, so normally if I would layer the snare with something else, like I would probably use a wave shaper to glue it, something like this. But I didn't layer in here, so this was not necessary. So what I did was I wanted to bring these frequencies a little bit more up front. This resonance. And that's it. Then also I've used, I love using convolution ease with room and small presets, like small room. And yeah, that's just not doing much, but giving it a little bit more space. Not that it needed more space, but yeah, just adding a little bit. Yeah, then also like, okay, so first of all, then actually what I did was using Pro L, because now it's obviously peaking, and I thought it lost some punch because of just what I did. And I just cranked again Pro L with punchy settings. But that obviously makes the high end too much. So I used an AQ before and just cut a little bit of that. And also, if you because of the convolution reverb, we get a lot of side information here, which before was not there. So yeah, I cut that. But then I also thought like, okay, I want a little bit more. So I didn't want this resonance to peak too much, so I cut that even more, but I wanted this part to be more present in the sides, so yeah, I just boosted it. So, and now you see it's fatter, and it's also longer now than before. And yeah, in the end, what I always do is use shaper box, volume shaper, and just shape it. again. Like, then you can also get rid of this noisy tail, which you introduce when pumping it through Pro L. Yeah, and just make the shape to your taste. Like it has it, and you just reduce it and make it nice and sharp. What is nice? What do you use for percussions pretty often? Didn't see when you wrote that. Shaper box? Ah, convolution. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, it's also nice on percussions, on hats or cymbals. Yeah. So I hope I didn't make it worse. Like, maybe I even made it better. Who knows? Like, let's see. Doesn't sound too bad, right? I don't know. I was messing around with like breaks in the end. I don't know if that works, but let's see later. Yeah, I just was feeling like I want to mix now, so I can edit things later. Yeah, next thing would be this is just some automation. Next thing would be the kick. So I just have this size scope open, and yeah, on the drum bus I have Pro L, but I'm interested about the signal before Pro L, so I have size scope before that. Yeah, so I think the kick head was a little bit too clicky. It was quite good already, but a little bit clicky. So I thought like it needs more thump. Hey, direct shift, how you doing? So yeah, boosting these frequencies and taking out some here, like this U shape. I think that makes it stronger. Yeah, and basically what I will do now is my old friend, use my preset I use for everything, punchy, but on the kick I won't push it. Keep it on 0. Yeah. What I could also do is do the same thing, like shaping this put this on audio trigger. Just to round it a little bit off, like. I'm fine, thanks. So I'm just trying to mix a little bit, and because also Boostronics was asking for like mixdown videos and so on, so I thought like maybe I can do that live. Are you still there, Goose? Yeah. Okay, so what? Okay, this sounds good, but what's important, of course, is how it sounds in context. So yeah, I think it sounds much fatter now, not so clicky. Yeah, so that's about that. Now I would go through every channel in the tops and check them all, but I think tops are a little bit yeah, it's nothing special. It's a bit boring to do that. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's go to bass. So yeah, what I normally do is first bounce everything what's MIDI to audio, or even audio which has lots of effects on it, just to have clear audio in the end, and then you can shape the clips as needed. So I already did that in here. This is the main bass. So I freeze it, I copy it, and then I flatten. So and then I keep the original MIDI still there, but deactivated, and yeah, then I can always go back and change something or when it's needed. So this one has a lot of processing on it. It will have nasty tail, which might conflict with the bass in here. Oh, by the way, I had like something. This was the bass playing on the one, and when I added it like to the main Reese, it was like there was a pause between those. Either there was a pause or they were clashing too much. So I couldn't make it like this. So what I did was just put them in one channel and then crossfaded them uh, like that. The transition between those two bass sounds was much smoother. Um, both of them have low end information, so sub information. Yeah, so I had to make sure they work well together. Yeah, so I deactivated this, but the channel is still active because I didn't do that for the intro. I used that sound again in the intro, so yeah. Let's freeze this thing. So mixing, I don't know, mixing can be boring, and like I freeze a lot of stuff and just repair a lot of stuff. It's not only like EQing and so on. Big part is just cleaning everything. Now I duplicate. Come on. Yes. Deactivate this one and flatten. All right. So as you can see, there's this stupid tail which clashes. So let's just get rid of that. Fade it a little bit and boom. Let me deactivate the sidechain for a moment. Well, the tail actually was quite nice. Exactly. I actually like the tail. Like normally, yeah, like when this bass is playing, you won't notice, but let me check. Yeah, rules are met, but still there's low end here, which is clashing. So I might just get rid of this and add this here. This might work. Let's do the same thing here. And then just copy paste. Oh, nice. This one I already bounced. So nothing to do more. Let's get, we can start mixing. Okay, so bus processing. Let's see. I didn't use a lot of layers in this. Wait, let me check. What did I do here? Aha. Okay, so this bass. Okay, so here it's layering with another track. So I might just take this put it here, and I want to group these because they are layered at that point. As you can see, I don't have any other bass sounds. It's quite basic. Nothing more was needed. Okay, so I group these now and just saturate it to glue it together. So what I do here is like go somewhere here. Deactivate the low band. Make it somewhere near 6K. Hmm. So I'm trying to boost those high frequencies a little bit because that just gives it texture and yeah. I like to use Saturn for things like this because I have lots of control with different bands, and I don't want to crush the low end, so I can just deactivate this. Yeah, to still have a clean low end and not destroying it, and then afterwards having to replace the sub or with a clean one. So yeah. So that's this. I might go on the okay, so I'm deactivating the sidechain again. I might try before I use Pro MB. I might just take this Saturn and copy it to the whole channel again. Let's see. Okay. What I want to do now is take Pro MB and now take care of those low frequencies. I always deactivate here, and because those also need to be glued, but in a different way, not with saturation. So I make this fast release. I use extreme settings here, hard knee. First I put the threshold all up. Attack can be like this. Okay. So now it's doing nothing because I got threshold on 0. But let's. Okay, now you can see, as you can see, when this other bass plays, it's not getting compressed so much. So there is a difference in terms of level for the sub, and I want to match those. And multiband compressor is really good to do that. But I don't want to lose this sub, so I'm boosting this again. And I'm trying to match it like that it's about like 0 again. Track space, I don't know track space. What is that? Like any multiband compressor would actually do this, but yeah, the cool thing is like you can use like infinite. It says 100, but in here it says infinite. But this works like a limiter, I guess. When it's infinite, I'm not so 100% sure. Yeah, so subs should be more equal now. Actually, this has. Normally, I would tap this frequency here. But I think this adds a lot of dirtiness, but dirtiness in a good way. I think in this case I don't want to cut that. I don't know. I will see later. Okay. So that is this. Now, before I use a limiter, I actually go and take ozone, and what I use in ozone is not these. I will use a preset I'm putting on my bass buses. This is just the multiband compressor again, and now I'm taking a look at the whole spectrum, mids and sides, and balance it completely. Applies inverse EQ curve. Sorry, I don't know the plugin. I heard of that track spacer, but I don't know what it's doing. Yeah. Okay, so what I do here. Now what's important, I take an instance of size scope. Wait. So first I deactivate all those bands. I'm not interested now. I deactivate the side thing, and I'm only on mids now. So when I I don't want to get tricked, so I solo my mids on span as well. So when I deactivate this, I still only hear the mids. Frequency-based sidechain thing. Okay. But is it a compressor? I don't know, man. Like Pro MB is multiband compressor, and I just use it to compress the low band and not everything else. Everything else is glued by Saturn with low band deactivated. That's my glue. To be honest, in here there are not too many sounds playing at the same time, so yeah, not too much glue is necessary, but low end is always good to glue. So now I'm trying to balance all the spectrum, and yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it looks like. What if I turn this on? Okay. Yeah, basically I want to balance and glue the whole frequency spectrum. And by doing this, so I'm starting with the low end. First I deactivate, and I also do this by ear and by eyes visually. I start compressing. I have the like this is my preset. These are the settings I've made once, and I just use that again. Like what I adjust is the threshold and sometimes the gain. But yeah, now I try to look. Okay, I want to. Something like this. Okay. Next is low mids. They need to work well together. That's important. One sub out of the way of the other is balancing the two different basses together. Okay, so it basically does the same probably, or not doing it the same way, but maybe for the same purpose. Wait, let me. this do was at a different level when I deactivate this. So again, I match both levels. That's what I want to do. And I want to do that for all the spectrum. So I get an equal fat sausage and get yeah, the full loudness potential out of the sound. Um, like as you can see, when the pitch goes up, the low mids always start to get a little bit too much, and this compressor as well is taking care of that. Where was it? See, when I deactivate this, this gets way too loud. Maybe sometimes you want that, but yeah, you can just put the threshold a little bit less. It's just dependent on how much you compress. And then what's also important to listen to low end and to the whole low end together. All right, so I think that's quite good. Now the highs. I don't want it to sound too harsh, so but yeah, just compress it a little bit. Maybe more. High end has faster settings than low end. Yeah. All right. Don't work too much on just the high end because your ears get very tired quickly. Uh, so in the end, you won't hear or notice too much of a difference, but yeah, in the end, for your overall loudness, this does make difference. So this was the mids. Let's move on to the sides. Solo these. I need to these. Yes. So I won't see anything here because this only showing me the mids. So need to do this by ear now. We can use span. But there's not much going on in here, so on the low end I don't need to. Maybe on some other sounds. No, nothing. So just leave that. So on the sides, I'm trying to be very careful because I don't. Sometimes, sometimes I have sounds which are not too wide, and sometimes I have sounds which are much wider, and I don't want to destroy those sounds which are wide. So need to check that I don't compress them too much. Sorry. There's the camera. I need to pay attention that the camera is not in front of this. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Nothing too crazy on the sides. Small difference. I didn't buy the M harmonizer yet. Sorry. um, I will do though, but not now, and it's not needed for mixing now. So, do you know how long the deal is available? Okay, so this definitely needs to be jammed now. And next step is actually sidechain. I've set up my side scope for this. All right. So I see something already. Can you see that? I don't want this. Why? Because I'm not sidechaining the high band. Why don't I sidechain the high band? Wait, what is going on? Okay, I can do this later. Like, normally I just first go one band because now I have full control over the whole spectrum. So I'm sidechaining the bass to the kick now, right? Um, so I'm checking it like this, and then I'm also looking at the sound signal, and this gap, I don't want that. So this needs to be fixed. So what can I do now? Actually, I should check the phase, um, which doesn't look very good now. But I'm changing the phase of the kick in the end of all processing, and then I adjust the sidechain again. But now, let's see. Let's try to get the sidechain as best as it can be with this phase problem, because we will take care of phase later. So this looks like when there's this gap, we can just okay. So when I put this on the left, we get already this peak. So I want this transition to be as uh, best as possible. So I can't go any further than that. So a little gap will be still there because of the phase issue, and that's the whole point in um, adjusting the phase. Like what I will do is I can just tell you now. I will use a utility on the kick and flip the phase, and then I go through every single kick hit and check the phase relation to the bass, and make an automation clip and say, okay, um, I want the phase flipped on this kick, but I don't want it to be flipped on this kick, but maybe on this again. So I make this automation clip and just go through every kick and check the phase in here. Um, we can check now if this makes it any better. This is a tricky one, but it does get better, I think. Yes. See? All right. But let's not do this now. Um, we just check the sidechain. What I do now is I like let more high frequencies through and make faster sidechain for the high frequencies. And it doesn't change too much. It doesn't peak because the high frequencies don't contribute too much energy. But yeah, the bass will sound more natural and not so pumped. Shaper box is fucking handy, like for shaping the snare in the end, and for sidechaining. It's just perfect. Like I, I can't imagine any other plugin at the moment for sidechaining. Um, comes in really handy, and it's just a volume shaper. Like, but all the other plugins are cool as well. Like, you can, yeah, make easy automations, like just drive saturation, like make it, I don't know, 8 bars, and or filter movement. It's pretty easy. Yeah. The noise shaper is nice. Let's see the noise shaper. Okay, so let's just for showing it. Only with white noise, it already adds a nice little noise tail. That's cool. There are some more. And then you can dial it in. It's pretty handy, pretty cool. You can experiment with this. Shakers. Yeah, I guess so. Um, uh, you mean like not using a trigger signal and just automating? Like this? I don't know. Yeah, I get what you mean. Sequencing, yes. Yeah. But yeah, um, let's continue. So you can see these peaks, and I normally don't want these. There are some peaks which are caused by heads and all the tops, which is just there. You have to deal with it. But yeah, this shouldn't be there. We should give the snare more space. So I can just, if I want now, I can just select all these and just move them to the right. Yeah, and the snare I sidechain full spectrum. Oh, wait, what did I do? Yeah, full spectrum, and the kick I always give some space in the high end with a faster sidechain, but I still want. Wait, I take the smooth thing off. Don't want that curve to be smooth. I want it to be precise. Um, but yeah, I want the high end to breathe a bit more. Come to Windows. Yeah, I have another snare in one section. Let me check. So I've added another Shaperbox instance. This snare is much shorter, so I don't need too much sidechain here. Okay, sidechain done. Bass processing done. Let's move on. Basically, what I would do here, like sometimes I do it, sometimes not. Like just repeat the process of what I did with Ozone. Sometimes I'm lazy and don't do it, or think it's not necessary. Let's see. Yeah, this one is pretty loud, so but it should be pretty loud. Oh wait, it's loud because of Ozone. Yes, only split 3 bands in here because sub obviously is not needed with synths or with pad lead sounds. Okay, this changed way too much because it's compressing a lot. Wait, I don't want. Yes. So, solo the mids. I don't want to compress too much in here. I think this is the loudest part, so that's why I'm listening to this right now. All right. Have a good one. See ya. Okay. Let's go to the mids. Okay, so nothing more. I think this is enough. I don't want to change the sound too much. I think this. Wait. Yeah. Just quickly doing this. I might use Maximizer. I love Maximizer on IRC4 Modern. Maybe it's not necessary here. But for safety, I will keep this Modern. Yeah, normally I would like, no, yeah, well, let's just do it. Freeze this and make it audio. What are you guys up to today? Or what have you done today already? I hope I inspire you. But these are just routine stuff I do when mixing it. Because like a lot of mixing is already done during the process of creating the track, you know. Um, because I already processed the sounds so much that they already sound fat and don't need much work. I didn't have to process the sounds individually now because I already did that before. Um, so at the moment, I'm just cleaning and balancing the whole the whole groups together. Um, that's what I'm doing, and single track processing is already done. Yeah. So was it this one? Yes. I duplicate, deactivate, flatten, and use it. So I don't have to clean much here because the tails are what I wanted. But now I visually see them. Yeah, maybe I need to rework the filters in the intro and so on and adjust them a little bit more, but that can be done later and it's not process of the mixing. So pads are very basic. FX, I don't really need to mix something in there. Just sound effects. I think the vocal, this the vocal is just, it's just uh, uh, uh. Maybe I can freeze it and see ya, Goosetronics. Why does it take so long? There's not much information here. Da, 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 da. By the way, the connection is stable now, right? Isn't it? So I fixed it by rebooting the Fritz box. Yeah. So duplicate this. Deactivate. Boom. Yeah. Turn it off, off and on. Okay. So when it drops, I don't need that tail. Right? Or do you leave tails like this? I don't know. I think there's so much going on. You don't need that tail. Or what is your, how do you do that? Yeah, the Fritz box is really nice, but the provider's shit. That's the point. The provider I have. Don't say any names. Phone. Um, Here I want the tail. Okay. Yeah, the rough mix is done, I think. So now what we can do is take a reference like this. And try, well, let's see. I have another span instance, which is VST2. And normally I use VST3. But the point is, using VST2, you still have this sidechain option here, which makes it possible to insert a reference. Then on the master and span, you can just select this final fix. Go to your routing and set it to 2.1 2.1 stereo, and then the LFE, whatever that stands for, you use the underlay, and then final fix gets displayed here. So, and the reference is external out, of course, not going through the master. So when I play my tune now, I can see that in this frequency area, the reference track has more frequency, more gain. And I could now just take an EQ and fix that and match it to the reference. But what I have to consider is why, or first I need to check why do they have so much more in that frequency area. So I could take another span directly here. This on its side. Okay. Is it the ARP? Let's check. Wait. When I have an ARP playing, like, it's matching, but I think there's not much going on in here. So let's just take this, and where I have an ARP, he should have an ARP as well. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So. You cannot hear. Okay, you cannot hear the final fix track. This is because of copyright, and I don't want any copyright strikes. No, I'm joking. This is because I route everything through the master, and final fix is not going through the master. How can I fix this? Maybe just duplicate this in here. In this part, it actually gets quite close, but we can still boost a little bit. So first of all, let's use an exciter. Split it into 4 bands. Hey, E-Town Junglist, thank you for your following. All right, so Actually, the stereo image looks quite nice already. Let's split the same bands somewhere here. Doesn't matter too much. Okay. Boost these